What is up, guys? Happy weekend. It is, for you guys, it's Saturday, the 18th of January, 2025. But I am also, of course, pre-recording this. So it's going to be a Q&A. I've got a question from one of my followers, one of my viewers. A lot of people, including myself, I have to say, at least, yeah, still including myself, have been, very pro-Trump, have put a lot of hope in Trump, and think that Trump is going to do good stuff, except for the Israel-Gaza or Israel-Palestine question. Now, I also am a little unsure about this because, a lot of people think Trump is a Zionist, right? And a Zionist, as far as I've heard the Zionists explain that Zionists are people that believe that Israel should be able to exist. Well, in that respect, I too am a Zionist. I think Israel should be able to exist. But I think that what the actual Zionists are leaving out is they believe Israel should exist at any cost. And that I don't agree with, right? What Israel is doing in Gaza at the moment is not right. I think that anybody can say. I think war is basically pointless, and it's, I guess, more acceptable if it's just military forces killing each other. But once everybody starts just massively killing civilians, which is what's happening in Gaza, that, we don't know much about the conflict in Israel and Gaza, but we do know that. And we know that because when the people who are perpetrating something like that say that that's what they're doing, right, then that's probably true. It's really hard to distinguish what, because the fact is we can't trust any government with information about stuff. We just can't, you know what I mean? Because governments all over the West constantly put their own interests over the interests of the people. And when it comes to war, if their interest is to wage war, make money off war, put in the BlackRocks and the Vanguards and everything to rebuild after war, then they need support for that war, and they will lie to the public to no end in order to keep that support. They've been doing it about Ukraine, they're doing it about Israel. And in America, it's gotten so bad that they're actually now to the point of banning TikTok because the so-called Zionists, the Republicans, the conservatives that are staunchly on the side of Israel, apparently, 100% no matter what they do, they don't like it that there's people on TikTok taking the side of the Palestinians, or in some cases even Hamas. So what do I think Trump will do? Do I think Trump will be a puppet for Netanyahu? I think that's basically the question. And my answer is no, I don't think so. I don't think Trump is a Zionist. I think Trump is like me in this case. I think he believes Israel has the right to exist. And yes, Israel is an ally, but that does not mean for Trump. Trump is a transactional businessman, right? And Trump knows that it is bad for America and bad for the world if America continues to give Israel unequivocal support to be able to just bomb the fuck out of Palestine or Gaza, and continue to just massively kill civilians. That is not good. On the other side, Trump wants the hostages let go, right? And he made clear, very clear, that if the hostages are not released before his inauguration, then all hell will break loose in the Middle East. And it looks like, because I got this question before the other day when the ceasefire deal was reached, but it looks like Hamas took him at his word, right? Because apparently, if we were to believe the news, and that's the only source we have, although Trump has also confirmed it, so has Joe Biden, that there has been some sort of peace deal reached, or a ceasefire deal, I guess would be the better way to put it, and that hostages are going to be released over time. But as far as I understood the deal, it starts with Israel pulling out of Gaza, right? So that tells me that Donald Trump is not playing favorites with Netanyahu. As a matter of fact, I would say that Netanyahu owes Donald Trump, right? And Donald Trump knows that. You see, because Netanyahu and Israel are aware that they could never have done so much damage or basically survived in that region were it not for the backing of the United States. You see, the Muslim countries surrounding Israel are not necessarily scared of Israel. They are scared of what the United States will do if they fuck with Israel. So Israel is not in a position to tell Donald Trump or the United States what's going to be happening here, right? That's how that works. And that's how Donald Trump generally plays the game. Donald Trump will say to Netanyahu, in my opinion, right? I don't know. I don't live inside Donald Trump's head, right? But this is how I judge Donald Trump. This is how I see him. This is how I think he's going to do it. And I think that based on his past actions and past things he's done, right? I think Donald Trump's going to say to Netanyahu, or has said to Netanyahu, look, you cannot just go and slaughter a bunch of innocent Palestinians. There has to be a long-term solution, and this is going to stop, or we are not going to continue to help you, right? That would, if he said just that and meant it, that would basically be the end for Netanyahu, right? They will not be able to continue without American support. It's just that simple, right? If America withdraws their support from Israel, the countries around Israel will swallow it up whole. You know what I mean? So Netanyahu is not in a great negotiating position with Donald Trump. And he has been with other presidents, because other presidents have been weak-kneed and spineless. And they just were all about status quo. Let's just keep the status quo going. Money-wise, policy-wise, woke-wise, military-wise. Let's just keep going the way we're going. That's working for us. I know it's not working for the people. Who cares about them as long as we get voted back into office? That's not Donald Trump's style, right? That's why he was voted for by so many people. Because people are sick of the status quo. So what I think will happen, and what I think has partially already happened, is Donald Trump will put Netanyahu in a position that he is. And Trump will say, look, Netanyahu, I moved the embassy to Jerusalem. The United States has supported unequivocally Israel for a very, very long time, but we will not continue to stand by and allow you to slaughter thousands of civilian people in Gaza. That's just not happening, right? So I think that's basically what it comes down to, because if I was correct about the way the ceasefire deal has been structured, it starts with Israel pulling out of Gaza and then hostages being released, et cetera, et cetera. Now, I already have heard, right, we've read, I mean, it's all over the news, that Netanyahu is delaying the vote about this ceasefire deal. See, Netanyahu has to run it by his legislature, his government, and they have to vote on it. Now, I don't think, there's people inside that government that will vote no on it. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to do it. But overall, I think it's going to have to happen. I don't think Netanyahu will be able to go back to Donald Trump and say, yeah, sorry, they didn't vote yay, so we're just going to continue to bomb Gaza. I don't think that's going to be an option, right? But Netanyahu has already delayed this vote. So one day the ceasefire deal comes out. The next day, Netanyahu announces, I got to delay the vote because Hamas has backed out, or they're trying to change the rules. Well, if they're trying to change the rules, then why don't you let the deal go ahead and see what exactly they don't deliver on? See, because the punishment for Hamas by Donald Trump will be vicious if they decide to renege on this deal. And I really don't think that that's what they're doing. I think Netanyahu has a lot of pressure in his government to continue this war, to eradicate all the Palestinians, so that the Gaza Strip can once again become the property of Israel. And I think that that's why Netanyahu is delaying this vote, and he's using the excuse of the Hamas groups saying that they want to change certain terms or whatever. See, there is no changing the terms. They have to go ahead with the deal, and if Hamas does not deliver their end of the deal, then there can be repercussions. But Netanyahu now backing out and saying, well, it's delayed and blah, that just makes him look like the criminal here. That aside, I'm going to do an insanity report about that this week still. So anyway, I don't think, all in all, I don't think that Donald Trump is in any way going to be Israel's puppet, right? I think personally that the support for Israel monetarily to wage war should not be there. I think that, if it was up to me, there wouldn't be any wars that our countries, that our Western countries would involve themselves with. But the fact is, if you leave Israel alone now, they're pretty much doomed, right? So we can't do that, because that will put Israel in a position that they may have to use nukes. If they use nukes, other people use nukes, then we're all fucked. So strategically, you can't just leave Israel completely alone. And I don't think that the United States will do that. I don't think Donald Trump will do that. But you also can't fund endless wars for them, just like with Ukraine, and give them military equipment and war and money and war to do war. No, you guarantee them, look, if you get attacked, like NATO, kind of, you know what I mean? Like NATO, if you get attacked, we will come to your aid. If you attack somebody, then that's a different story, right? I think that's the way it should be. And I think that that's the way Trump will probably structure the situation for as long as he's in office. Now, Trump will also have a lot of backlash for not supporting Israel unequivocally. For some reason, I don't know what the reason is, right? For some reason, everybody in the West feels some sort of major obligation to continue to be supportive of Israel no matter what they do and no matter what their ambitions are. And this I don't agree with. The Second World War is over. Horrible things were done to the Jews during the Second World War. There's no denying that. But I think that the Israeli population and the Jewish population at large can no longer just do everything that they want and then say, yeah, but Second World War. Yeah, but 80 years ago. Yeah, but the Jews were genocided. So now we can do whatever we want. No, that's not the way it works, right? And that's the way it's been allowed to work for a very long time. You know what I mean? I do not give Jews a pass today for what happened to ancestors, 80 years ago. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. We have the same argument about reparations in America for black people because descendants of theirs, which they might not even know, right? Where they probably don't, were once slaves. Well, yeah, but you weren't a slave and you're not a slave. So I'm not giving you money, you know what I'm saying, to pay you back for something I didn't fucking do. And that is the same attitude I have towards Israel and the Jews, right? I'm not an anti-Semite. Of course, this will put me in that category no matter what for people who are supportive of Israel, because one of the things that has been happening, lately is this push by the right and the conservatives of saying that everybody who has any criticism of Israel is automatically an anti-Semite. You criticize Netanyahu, you're an anti-Semite. You don't believe that Israel should have unequivocal protection for the rest of their existence and that they should be able to do whatever they want, well, then you're an anti-Semite. Well, if that's what they want to classify me as, go for it. I don't give a fuck. You know what I'm saying? I don't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck what these people think I am or what they classify me as. Don't care. You know what I'm saying? I just don't. That's the way I see it. That's what I call it. And that's the way it is. Right? So it's very unlikely that Trump will be anybody's puppet. Right? That Trump will be, I just don't see it happening. You know what I'm saying? Because up till now, Trump has basically done what he says. Now, he's one of the very few politicians, I think probably one of the only ones, president-wise, that I've ever seen in my lifetime, that actually has said things and then done those things. And the things that he didn't do, he was stopped from doing by the so-called deep state within the government, or, bad actors within his own administration last time around. But he was definitely set on doing those things, and he did accomplish quite a few of them, right? The thing about moving the embassy, I don't know what the big deal about it is, but apparently this was something that has been talked about by presidents over decades long, and nobody ever did it. And when Trump said he was going to do it, he was advised against it by all the war hawks and the warmongers and say, oh, it's going to break out war and it's going to cause World War III. And I don't know why, but Trump said, yeah, okay, I'm going to do it anyway. And he did it. Nothing fucking happened. Everybody happy. So I don't think that Israel is the one thing that Trump is going to say to the American people over, no, I want to stop wars, but except for Israel. That doesn't seem like Donald Trump to me. That's my opinion. I might be wrong, right? I might be wrong, but that is the opinion I hold about it. I don't think that's going to be the way it is. And it certainly already is looking like that's not the case. It's certainly already looking like he is treating Netanyahu also with a heavy hand. And I think the way he's doing that is saying, look, Netanyahu, dude, listen, it's time to pay the piper, right? You owe us. You owe us. We have been protecting your ass for decades. And you can say, yeah, but so have the Europeans and England and black. They don't really count, right? Let's be honest. They couldn't do it on their own, right? Europe can't protect a fucking paper bag without America at this point. You know what I mean? That's one of the criticisms, that Europe needs to do more about their own security. Because instead of doing that, they've been relying on America to carry their water while they put all their money into social bullshit projects and woke fucking madness. You know, giving all the money to illegal immigrants and building bike paths in Peru and, you know, fucking gender studies in Kenya and fucking all the shit that nobody asked for, that nobody should be paying for from these countries. But they've had the money to do all those things because they don't have to worry about defense. So there's no way that without the United States, Israel would be able to continue to exist, right? If, like I said before, if the United States openly announces, hey, Middle East, Israel and you guys work this out, we're done, right? We're done. Everybody do whatever they want. That would be very bad. You know what I mean? That would be very bad for Israel. So again, Israel is not in the position to demand anything from the United States, and that's how Trump views everything. He views Europe that way. He views the other countries that way. He views Russia that way. He views everybody that way. And he is right to, because the United States has been carrying everybody's water, and everybody knows it. They've just never had to pay the United States back before. And with Donald Trump, that's a different story. As you know about the NATO deal, Donald Trump said flat out, listen, Europe, if you guys don't start paying your share of the NATO budget, right, and start doing your part, then if Russia comes to attack you, like you're all worried about, we are not going to come to your aid. Life isn't free. America is not everybody's Gary water boy, right? That's what America's been, because you've had weak presidents, weak governors, weak politicians. Donald Trump is not a weak politician. We know that. You know what I mean? As a matter of fact, Donald Trump got shot in the fucking head and jumped up 5 seconds later, screamed fight, fight, fight to the crowd against the will of his Secret Service people. You know what I mean? That dude is a fighter. That dude cares about America and the American people. Again, he did not have to do this. He is almost 80 years old. You know what I mean? He does not have to spend his last days, possibly, fucking around with the United States government. He just doesn't have to do it. He could be drinking Mai Tais and playing golf. He doesn't drink, but okay, as a figure of speech. He doesn't have to do this, but he's doing it anyway, even after getting shot, even after a second assassination attempt on his life, and probably many more that we don't know about, right? So, no, I think Donald Trump has the best interest of the United States in mind, and that comes first. And the people of America elected Donald Trump to stop these unnecessary wars and stop flooding the money into all these unnecessary wars. And I don't think he's going to let Netanyahu off with a pass. That's my opinion. That's how I look at it. And this ceasefire deal that has come up now looks like I'm probably right. You know what I'm saying? Because it looks like Israel is going to have to make some concessions that it absolutely does not want to do. And we see that they don't want to do it because Netanyahu's already trying to weasel out of it, because what they want is clearly they want to eradicate the Palestinians out of Gaza and take it over for themselves. That's what they want to do. And why I say that that's what they want to do? Because Many of them say that's what they want to do. And that's what they're fucking doing, right? That's what they're doing, right? All this bullshit about, well, we send flyers and blah, and we send text messages and notify them. Well, really, how, right? And where are they going to go if they get the flyer on time before you eradicate their community? Where exactly are they going to go? Gaza's not exactly a one-way road out into the rest of the world, right? What, are they going to drive them into the fucking ocean? Are they going to have to build like ocean living? You know what I mean? They're going to have to be living on boats soon, or what? You know? And what Israel is clearly doing and what they want to do is they don't want to live next to the Palestinians. Now, I get that sentiment, but you don't choose your neighbors. They're going to have to work out a long-term solution. And the ceasefire is the beginning of that solution. I think Donald Trump will help negotiate a more longer-term solution. And I think Trump, in essence, has the upper hand. You know what I'm saying? Basically, like I said, Israel can't survive without America. So that means Israel's going to have to do some concessions in order to make this craziness stop. Guys, if you want to get all my content, then all you have to do is subscribe to my Substack. The links are below if you're watching on Substack. If not, you have to go to it'sallaboutlogic.substack.com. That's it'sallaboutlogic.substack.com, and subscribe there for free or for $5 a month. I would appreciate that greatly, guys. That would help me out quite a bit. So go for that. If you're watching this somewhere else, you're also not getting all of the videos because a lot of videos get censored from other platforms or removed. I can't put links in the descriptions. I also cannot publish articles on most of those platforms. So go ahead and subscribe to the Substack. In the end, that's the best place to go. You'll get all my content in one place. That's the Q&A for this week, guys. Hope it answered your question. And if you guys have any more questions, you are welcome to write me any of those. If you want to keep your name or your handle private, I will keep them private, as I have thus far. Guys, have a great day, great weekend. We'll see you on the next round.